Hey, what's going on? Christmas Eve. I'm outside watching the traffic go by. I laid down for a little while, got up, and after I got my Greg the Zombie, and I laid on his belly for a little while and watched the news for a little while, and smoked a couple of cigarettes. I'm real congested. I got like this. I got like this lump congestion like deep in my chest, and I'm trying to cough and get it to come up, and it's just like maybe I take some tussin or something like that and drink some water to help break it up, and help get it to the surface. You know, I wanted to talk about something that makes me, uncomfortable, that I should really talk to my therapist about, but I don't have my therapist meeting until like next Friday, I don't think. And so, it's just I'm not where I want to be right now, and that's what's hard about the holidays is not being where you want to be. In a sense, like in a way, I am where I want to be. I'm home, I'm with my mom and my dad, but I feel like there's so much missing. Like I'm looking at traffic and I'm thinking, I wonder if the girl I like is gonna drive by in a car with a guy, and like I'm looking at every car and I'm like, oh, there's a Jewish person and there's another Jewish person, and I'm thinking about like how she looks in her glasses, and like she looks she looks almost like every other Jewish woman, you know. I think that's fucking hysterical. Uh, a lot of Jewish people driving around tonight. All of a sudden, the traffic just got really, really busy, and I'm getting a lot of cars coming down the block. So I went by the corner and just stood, watched traffic. She was passing by in cars and shit. It's crazy. It's crazy. I know it's crazy. Uh, yeah, saw this one car come by, tinted out, white, all white, tinted out, nice rims and shit. I'm like, man, I'd love to fucking throw a fucking egg at your fucking car, bro. And I'm just like, I got a cool bike. I got a cool bike, and it might help me out come the springtime, the summertime. It might help me out getting a girl, maybe. I really got to fix my teeth. I know that. I know that's a big setback for me is the way my teeth look. And I'm kind of overweight, but I don't think that's so much of a problem. Although Your Honest didn't insult me on being overweight. She said I had a tamale body, and she doesn't want to run into guys that have tamale bodies. So that put a fucking dagger in my back. I don't mind if a girl's a little overweight. I kind of like the skinny fat look. I kind of like the skinny fat look. Or like I'm not looking for I'm not looking for an athlete. I'm not looking for an athlete. You know, do I want a girl that's skinny? Yeah. Do I mind a girl that's not skinny? No, I don't. But like I'm not where I am. Like I want to have a fucking dope car, and I want to have a dope apartment, and I want to spend the holidays with a pretty girl. I want to be able to go over to a pretty girl's house and be with a family, or I want her to come over and be with my fucking dysfunctional family, and I want to spend days that are snowing, fucking kissing in the snow and fucking drinking hot chocolate and all that shit. And guys that are married are like, you're so lucky you're single. And maybe it is cool that I'm single. I don't have to put up with anyone's shit. I don't have to put up with any shit. But at the same time, I'm real lonely, man. I'm really, really lonely. You know, uh, like it's the simplest things that I'm looking for. For an honest, loving, caring person. That's not concerned everything about money. That has some empathy. And that's understanding. I want to have a friendship, and I want to also have intimacy with that friendship, and it'd be great if, like, you know, you know, I just I'd love to be able to cuddle in bed right now. I'd love to be able to cuddle in bed right now. I'd love to wake up to sleeping on a girl's butt and smelling her farts and make her pancakes, and have sex with her, and maybe I don't get that. Maybe in this life I don't get that, and it crushes me. It really crushes me. In this life, maybe what I get is to be able to see some escorts. You know, I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what God has planned for me. I don't even think there is a God. But I don't know. And I just I don't want to be lonely. It sucks being lonely. And I just want to be happy. You know, and I don't feel happy. I'm happy. I feel good. I feel good. I got my bike. I'm about to go start it up and let it run for a little bit and listen to it purr. You know, I mean, the springtime, the summertime, it's gonna be balls to the wall. I'll fucking, I'll pull up over by East 16th Street and see the fucking cutest girl coming off the train and smack her with my helmet and throw her on the back of my bike. I don't know. But I'm just like, there's more. I want more. I want more from life. I want more from life, and I'm not going to be totally satisfied. I don't know if I'm ever going to be totally satisfied. I don't know, even if I get everything like I've always wanted, I think maybe that's just my personality. Maybe it's just, the way I am. Maybe I can never be satisfied. Maybe that's it, But I'm gonna go start my bike up and smoke a cigarette and listen to my bike, and then I'm gonna go take a walk to the store on Avenue P and grab a coffee and one of those Mexican breads. I'm hoping the coffee will help get some of this congestion up. You know, it's still early in the night. It's gonna be probably a long night. I drank a lot of soda today, and I'm about to have a coffee, so I'm all hopped up on caffeine. I ate great today. I think I got $100 from Santa. And I put that $100 into feeding me and my mom. My dad ate a little bit. You know, so I'm happy that I got to get dinner for everyone. You know, there's some leftovers. I can break into the leftovers if I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just lonely, man. I'm lonely. I really like. I was laying in bed and I'm resting my head on Greg the Zombie's tummy, and man, Greg the Zombie is so comfortable. But my imagination and my mind is fading into like what I did, what I had, and I'm thinking about her, and I'm thinking about all the other girls, and I'm thinking about how close I was to her compared to the other girls, and I'm thinking about like past relationships and shit, how it was in like high school and shit like that, and thinking about my kid's mom and stuff, and thinking about all the relationships I've had in the past, and I'm like, I just I want my ride or die. I want a beautiful girl that I can just vibe with and be intimate with and have as my best friend, and I don't know, but God grant me, please, please, God, please fucking put someone into my life that'll have understanding and honesty and caring and empathy, and a loving heart, you know, and I hope everyone has a good Christmas. You know, Santa's coming tonight. I hope everyone gets what they want, you know, and I'll talk later. Bye.